Welcome to a special edition of A Whole Lot of Cheese, the Super Bowl episode. I'm Katie Crawford, and I've got some exciting stuff coming up for you that will get your party going. We have a first half, which will feature buffalo chicken poppers, because you can't have football without buffalo something. We also have, in the second half, enchilada dip coming up, because we need a lot of dips for parties. I also have a special halftime show, which will give you even more yummy things to eat. And we all know that Super Bowl really is all about the food. Hello, that's why we have Super Bowl parties, because as you can tell, I'm an Eagles fan, and I spend pretty much every Super Bowl watching from the sidelines, since my team just doesn't want to make it there for some silly reason. So I have to focus on the food, which is not really that big of a focus for me since I pretty much focus on food every day of my life. But I want to bring that to you and bring your party up to the next level so that when you're watching all of the commercials, which we know is the second best part of the Super Bowl, you have something yummy to munch on. And I guess, in between the commercials and all those bites of food, you can watch a couple plays of football. I mean, maybe there'll be a touchdown or two, or I don't know, something of that nature, what you find in a football game or something silly. So get ready. We have a lot coming up for you, and we'll get started. Welcome to the first half of our Super Bowl edition. Today we are making 5-ingredient buffalo chicken poppers. Pretty much once a month, everyone asks me for my buffalo chicken dip recipe. It's a really simple recipe. You can find it on Google. It's what I do when I send it to people. But I decided to take that dip and make it a little bit portable. You can have this for your couch gating, which you're probably doing for the Super Bowl. But if you're going to an actual tailgate, this is great to bring along. It's pretty, holds together, finger food. We all love that for tailgates. So all you need is some chicken. I like to use canned chicken, which is not as scary as it sounds. I promise it tastes great in something like this. You can also shred your own chicken, but why add the extra work if you don't have to? We have some Greek yogurt, buffalo sauce, of course. We'll start with about 1/3 cup of buffalo sauce, but if you like it a little spicier, please feel free to add more, because I do. I always add more, so we're going to probably have to add more later. Also cheese, of course, have about 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese, and wonton wrappers. So you might recognize wonton wrappers from our premiere episode with the tortellini. We like to use these as much as possible. I mean, like I said earlier in the premiere, we like to cheat a little bit, and wonton wrappers help with that. It also is why this is portable. So let's get started. All right, so now we have to mix everything together. So I'll just take our chicken, put this in the bowl. The cheese. Don't leave any crumbs behind. I'm using about 1/2 cup of plain Greek yogurt. This just keeps it nice and creamy. If you're not looking for healthy alternatives, you can always add cream cheese and or ranch dressing. I tried to healthify this a little bit. We're eating so much for the Super Bowl that if we can cut corners a little bit, it's always welcome. Then we just add the buffalo sauce. Again, this is to taste, so I'm starting with about 1/3 cup, but we can always add in more. All right. This actually doesn't look like I want to add any more right now, but once it comes out of the oven, I'm probably going to top it with a little bit extra. All right, once it's all nice and incorporated, we are going to set up the poppers. So I sprayed a mini muffin tin with some cooking spray. We don't want anything to stick. All you have to do is put your wonton wrappers in here, like so. Just want to press them in, make sure that you don't have them fold in on each other, because obviously the mixture needs to go in the middle. All right. Now our mixture is going to make more than just these 12, So we're just gonna repeat these steps until all of the mixture is gone. And don't worry if you make holes in the poppers, it'll be fine, I promise. It won't leak out everywhere. All right. And we just spoon the mixture in. Just want to fill it to the top, about the top of the muffin tin. I don't want it to overflow. All right, we also have the oven preheated to 400 degrees. This is going to take about 10 to 12 minutes to cook. Then we're gonna, have to let it cool. But once you know it's done, when all the edges are nice and golden brown. All right, we are all set for the oven. All right, so your poppers are done baking. They're nice and golden brown, as I mentioned. So they come out really easily since we sprayed the dish. All right, so as I mentioned, these are good for tailgating, whether it's couch gating or if it's gonna be, at an actual tailgate. So since this is, couch gating, I'm gonna add a little bit of extra buffalo sauce to some of these. They can be eaten warm or cold. They're pretty much room temperature is a great way to eat these. If you like them spicy, add more. If you want to serve them with ranch or blue cheese dressing to dip them in, it's whatever you prefer. I like to burn people's mouths off, so there's no dipping sauce for these for me. All right. All right, so I'm not gonna do all of them because some people might not like that. So we are all ready. We're gonna set these aside for later in our Super Bowl party. And so that brings us to the end of the first half. So stay tuned. We have a halftime show coming up for you. And of course, a second half with another recipe for your party. Stay tuned. Welcome to halftime. So we already have the poppers all ready for your party later. So we're gonna go over a couple more things that you can make to make your party extra delicious. So the first thing I have right now is our cheeseburger wonton wraps. They're just like little egg roll things, but we're using wontons, so they're a little bit miniature size. All they have in them is some ground turkey, some cheese, some onions, so a little bit of seasoning. You can throw some pickles in there, bacon, kind of whatever your heart desires for cheeseburger-wise. I have a nice little dipping sauce here. It's just Greek yogurt, a little bit of pickle juice, ketchup and mustard. It's fantastic, and everyone's gonna love those because you have to have cheeseburgers for football. Perfect for tailgating. And we also have this onion dip, which I don't know why everyone loves the onion dip so much. I talked to my mom, and she says everyone requests her that she makes this every party. When I was little, all I remember is chips and dip and it being this onion dip. And let me tell you, you're gonna be so surprised. This onion dip is the Lipton soup packet, the onion packet. That's it. And some Greek yogurt or some sour cream. Really, that's it. And everyone always loves this the best. And it takes you 3 seconds to make. So definitely need this for your party. And now we also have fried pickles. These fried pickles are not fried. We're gonna bake them to make them a little healthier. On the blog, we have the recipe for this, and all of these recipes are on the blog, but there's a special technique for the fried pickles that helps the breading stay on there, gets them nice and crunchy. You're gonna wanna make it this way, and you're gonna probably do this for your fried chicken, which is on the blog, your fried zucchini sticks, which would also be good for this party you're having. We also have a dipping sauce for this. Again, pickle juice, some Greek yogurt, and a little bit of hot sauce. We just want a lot of flavors in there, and you need to have dipping sauce with fried pickles. One note on the fried pickles, you need to have hamburger chips. You cannot use the spears. Just put those back in the fridge, because let me tell you what, that's a penalty. So this concludes our halftime show. We have all of these things to add to your party. We have the poppers, and coming up, I'm gonna show you how to make enchilada dip. right, welcome to the second half of our Super Bowl show. So, I have another recipe to make your party extra special. Your friends are gonna be like, where's the recipe for this? And then you're gonna direct them to me because you're welcome. So I have the enchilada dip coming. If you have looked at the blog at all recently, I've been obsessed with enchiladas. I don't know why, and it's a great thing because enchiladas are delicious. So we just accept it. We don't really question things like that. So this dip, of course, and anything turned into a dip is amazing. So we have the canned chicken again. We already talked about how it's not scary and it's delicious and saves you a lot of work. We have some green chilies. We have some green enchilada sauce. We, of course, have cheese. I have a mixture of cheddar and pepper jack cheese for us today. We also have some cream cheese. You can do a little light cream cheese since we're going to have a lot of extra cheese and a lot else going on, so we can be a little bit healthier. We also have some plain Greek yogurt and then just some spices. We have chili powder and cumin for us and some salt just to season it all out. And we're just going to get that all together and let's get going. All right, let's get this enchilada dip going. So the first thing we want to do is just add the Greek yogurt to the bowl. It's about a cup of plain Greek yogurt. All right. Add our cream cheese. About 4 ounces of light cream cheese. Then I'm going to add our chilies. Just use the little can of green chilies. Adds so much flavor even coming from a can. And then our enchilada sauce. All right. Of course, our seasoning. Just to taste, so you want it to be nice and flavorful, but not overpowering. All right, give this a good mix. I'm gonna make sure everything is well incorporated. Break up that cream cheese, that's what's gonna be stubborn. If you let the cream cheese soften a little bit before you start mixing everything, that should help get everything mixed together really well. And don't worry if there's chunks because it'll get all nice and melty in the oven. It'll be delicious. Someone will get an extra delicious bite. All right, then I'm gonna fold the chicken in. And about half of our cheese, because we wanna save the other half to top the mixture with. All right. All right. Once this is all mixed together, we're going to take an oven-safe pan or dish. I like to use my cast iron skillet. Makes everything really easy, and it's not that bad to put on the table, although people might burn themselves, so make sure you warn all your friends, especially if there's alcohol involved. You have to be really careful, but it actually makes a pretty nice display, so that's why I like to use it too. All right, then we just pour this mixture in here. If you're not using a cast iron skillet, you might want to spray the bottom a little bit, but the nice thing about the cast iron is you don't need to do that. It's nice and seasoned so it doesn't stick. All right. Spread that out pretty evenly. Topped with the rest of the cheese. All right, it's almost ready for the oven. I've had the oven preheated to 400 degrees. This is going to bake for about 25 to 30 minutes. You want it to get nice and bubbly. You want the cheese to be really melted on the top. If it turns golden brown, that's extra delicious. So we want all of that. So we're all set for the oven. All right, our enchilada dip is all ready for the party. We're gonna serve this with some tortilla chips. As I mentioned earlier, be extra careful with the cast iron skillet. It's really hot. I can feel the heat coming off of it. So this ends our second half, and we will be all ready for our party in overtime. Welcome to overtime. I have my party all set up. I have my buffalo chicken poppers, my enchilada dip, all the chips I need, my onion dip, my fried pickles, and of course the cheeseburger wonton wraps, dipping sauces. I mean, this looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. All of these recipes can be found on the blog, of course, printable versions, all the details on all the halftime recipes, everything you need to know. Of course, don't forget to subscribe so anything we do in the future you'll get the notification for. We don't want to miss out on anything. Thank you for watching season 1 of A Whole Lot of Cheese. And don't forget, everything's better with a whole lot of cheese. And now to get this party started, I guess I need my friends to come on over and eat.
Stiff arm.
Oh, I want to try it. Yeah, try everything. Just push them out of the way.
I can't eat any faster.
Onion dip. Need onion dip.
Alright, don't make me use my right stiff arm. Wonton wrappings, if you haven't seen the tortellini wontons. Oh. Episode feature. Episode 1. Double dipping.
Penalty flag.
Red. This time.
Yeah, the sauce is so light.
Uh-oh.
And what?
Delicious.
Light and fluffy. A lot. Yeah.
A whole lot.